Rose Abarasturi from Cebu Province.
Hi, maayong adlaw. I'm Steffi Rose Pearson Abirastri, proudly representing Cebu Province. So things that you should know about me is that I'm an island girl. So I really enjoy swimming with the fishes. I even saw a pregnant seahorse, and at the same time, I swam together with treasure sharks. Can you imagine that? Aside from that, I love visiting the farm, and I even vaccinated thousands of chicks. And lastly, I'm a Sinulog dancer and a woman of God. So that's it about me. Thank you so much.
So, Steffi, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your beauty and why?
For me, I rate my beauty, of course, 10. I'm really blessed at what God has given me and also my parents because of that. For me, beauty is about being comfortable with your own skin, like knowing and accepting who you are. For me, that's really beautiful. And beauty is skin deep. It's not just about the physique, but it's what's really in here. For me, that's beautiful. That's why I rate myself 10. Thank you.
Do you think there should be stricter censorship on social media because of widespread misinformation, defamation, and cyberbullying?
For me, I totally agree with that. With now me as a social media person, as a queen plus tindera, I've always been into social media. And it's really important for me to filter what I post and what I share. And now people are taking advantage of the disadvantages of social media. Like, we have to remind ourselves and put a borderline for us not to hurt other people. And remind that to make use of the social media the way it is designed.
How has the pandemic challenged you?
Okay. This pandemic, I've encountered so many problems, but I rose up and stand with this challenge. With this pandemic, I learned so many things, like the value of communication. Before, I never really asked someone, how are you doing? But with this pandemic, people mean so much to me. That's why with this pandemic, communication, life, and time itself is so important for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Steffi.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have Cristela Bello from Aklan. Hi, Cristel.
Hi, Sir Voltaire. Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Cristel Abello. I'm 27 years old and I am a communications graduate and currently a full-time model. 3 things I want you to know about me is that I am a risk taker. I love to have fun. And an interesting fact about me is that I actually had my very own Pia Wurtzbach moment when I joined my very first pageant. I was accidentally announced as the runner-up when I had actually won that night. And coincidentally, it's also my 3rd time joining a national pageant, kaya baka sign din siya na mag-align din yung stars for me this time around. Just like Pia's.
Your first question is, if you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would it be and why?
For me, that's a simple question. I would honestly choose Japan. My parents currently are living in Yokosuka, Japan, and there is nothing more special to me than valuing the time with my loved ones. And ever since I made my move here to the Philippines, it's really hard being alone, and I struggle with not being able to see them as much as I did before. So I would really cherish that time with my family and my loved ones in Japan.
With social media, anyone can be a social media celebrity by having a lot of followers. Do you think that celebrity is confused for achievement?
No, I don't think that celebrities are confused with their achievements or for their achievements. I think celebrities have definitely made their mark because of the work that they've done and the work that they've put in. I think that given their platform and their power, they do have a responsibility to be a role model to the youth and to everyone around them. And I believe that celebrities, for the most part, do a good job in maximizing their platform.
How has the pandemic challenged you?
The pandemic has definitely challenged me in all the ways possible. First of all, I am alone here in the Philippines, which makes it really difficult for me to just be away from my loved ones. And also, I came here to the Philippines. I left my secured job in California. So right now I am not making, any income at the moment. But to be honest, I am just trying to make the most of my time, and I'm happy to be on this journey. Kahit mahirap siya.
Bautista from Laguna.
Hi everyone, I am Laren May Magnaya Bautista. You can call me Laren. I'm 28 years old and I'm representing the province of Laguna. You might find my name unique because I find it different also. It is a combination of my parents' name, Les from my mother, Leticia, and Ren is from my father, Efren. I feel like I am the only Laren in the universe. Speaking of my parents, they are both full-blooded Filipinos, and I was born and raised here in Los Baños, Laguna, with a very traditional Filipino household. Growing up, I was given a chance to enjoy playing outdoors, but not in your typical backyard setup. Naglalaro at tumutulay ako sa tabing riles, sumasakay ako sa trolley, tumatakbo at tumakit ako sa...
Given the power to change a personal experience, what would you change and why?
Given the power to change something, I believe I would not change anything. Because with all the experience that I've learned all throughout my life, I gained something from it. I realize and I realize and do something about it. And I feel like I don't need to change anything because I learned a lot from it and it makes me who I am today.
The pandemic has brought about widespread unemployment. Should a family with children with very limited resources spend it on food or on education?
I personally feel like we don't need to choose between the two because food and education are both important in our daily lives. So I feel like having that enough food for ourselves, it gives us enough energy to really study for our education in our future.
Lastly, how has the pandemic challenged you?
You know what? I am a COVID survivor and it really changed my perspective in life. My mom also got COVID and it's really hard because she's already a senior and I feel like I cannot live with my mother. So this pandemic really made me realize how life is important and how family is important to everybody. And we should take care and do not take advantage of the time that we have with our families.
Kirsten Daniel Delavine from Masbate.
Hello, good evening. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kirsten Daniel Delavine and my nickname is Kisses. I am from Masbate City and the story that I want to tell you is that I am a miracle baby. My mother and father had 8 pregnancies and I was the only one who survived. And when I was 6 years old, I suffered from a viral encephalitis with only 5% chance of living and I survived. I think that the universe has been very kind to me and I think that it's my job to give back that kindness. Thank you.
Your first question is, some people say that pageants foster stereotypes. What would you tell them?
Mr. Voltaire, I think that belief is in itself a stereotype. There is no good thing or bad thing, it's how you think about it. And actually, joining a beauty pageant and being your truest self, that is the best way to break that stereotype. It's all in the mind. It's about expressing yourself and being truly who you are. Thank you.
According to Shakespeare, the eyes are the windows to the soul. What would people see if they looked into your eyes?
Mr. Voltaire, I absolutely love that quote, and I think that the eyes are the first thing I see when I look at someone. And in my eyes, people can see that I am ready for this. I think of the Miss Universe job as something that I was born to do, and that I will be putting my whole heart into it. Thank you so much.
Lastly, how has the pandemic challenged you?
Mr. Voltaire, I think that being away from my work, which is in showbiz, I get to be with people every day in show business and make them smile. So 1.5 years of not being able to do that has been very sad, but I was able to recalibrate and remember who I was with, who I inspired before I even came to showbiz. And I think it's very important to really recenter.
Thank you very much, Krista. And now we have Maureen Krista Robelwitz from Pangasinan.
Hi everyone, I'm Marie Krista Robelwitz. I'm 23, representing Pangasinan. I describe myself as a third culture kid because I was born and raised in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia to a German dad and a Filipina mom. From a very young age, I've been very aware of different cultures and religions, which helped my cultural sensitivity, but gave me a lot of stories to tell. According to my friends, my favorite way to start a sentence is in Germany, in the Philippines, and Saudi Arabia, because I've lived in all those places. Some people may perceive me as shy, but once I start talking, especially if it's something that I'm passionate about, like acting, makeup, travel, there is no end.
So Mao, how would you describe your beauty to a blind person?
I would say that the beauty from the outside is not as important. What is more important is the beauty from the outside. And my beauty is I am kind despite my bad experiences in life. I've experienced so many things, but I wouldn't want anyone else to experience that.
It is often said that high risk equals high reward. What have you risked in pursuit to become Miss Universe Philippines?
I have risked my mental health. I've had a lot of struggles with my mental health, but I know that this journey will make it all worth it. I know that despite my struggles, I'll be able to overcome this.
How has the pandemic challenged you?
The pandemic has challenged me in a way that I have gotten so comfortable being an introvert. So this one is another challenge, getting out of my comfort zone again, and really utilizing my platform to inspire so many.
Thank you very much, Maureen. Next up, we have Roseanne Marie Bernos from San Juan.
Hi everyone, my name is Roseanne Marie Bernos, and I'm the first daughter, first granddaughter, and first niece in both sides of my family. So no pressure, but growing up I had to do a lot of trial and error trying to figure out what I wanted to be. So in the last 10 years, I have been an interior design major, English major, working student, writer, freelancer, content creator, entrepreneur, English teacher in Spain, and now also a beauty queen. So I like to think that I'm more than just a jack of all trades, master of none. I'm also a very determined person with a lot of good stories to tell. It's nice to meet you.
Your first question is, digital addiction can refer to phone, internet, or social media addiction. How would you intervene if you feel that one of your friends has digital addiction?
I would probably become an accountability partner for her. Perhaps maybe I could check in at night, maybe at 10 p.m. I'll say, hey, it's time to stop. Let's go to bed, girl, and let's just go have some peace of mind.
Is it important to do the right thing or avoid doing the wrong thing?
I think it's more important to do the right thing because there is such an importance in being proactive about how we go about life. So it's all about being mindful of what impact we have on other people.
How has the pandemic challenged you?
The pandemic has made me realize how fast and short life is and how helpless we can be if the basics are taken away from us. And so I really learned to value the people in my life, care for them better, and connect with them better, for sure.
Thank you very much, Hein. Tagay.
Hi everyone. So I've been to 3 Justin Biebers by myself concerts, and one he looked straight into my eyes while he was singing. Talagang kinilig ako kasi you know what? I knew we had a moment. And everyone knows I hate spicy food, but for some weird reason, I still carry it in my bag because I just really like the taste of it. Tapatio lang. And I know this sounds super gross, but watching Dr. Pimple Popper is so satisfying for me. Now, call me spontaneous because I stayed at one of the most haunted hotels in California, and it was so creepy because the volume of the TV kept going up and down the whole night. It was so scary. And during the pandemic, I learned how to make kare-kare, and it was so delicious that all I...
Your first question, Katrina, is, in today's world, someone or some group often claims to be offended by something. Do you think that the world has become too politically correct and too sensitive?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi. I don't think that the world has become politically correct. I think that what's going on right now is the cancel culture that we need to get rid of. I feel like that is a modern day of bullying. And I also feel that we need to stop cancel culture because it's as if we're judging people based off of what their opinions are. If it's opposing to ours, all of a sudden it feels like it's wrong. And cancel culture needs to disappear because it's as if we lost empathy for the people.
The Philippines and the Vatican are the only two sovereign states that prohibit divorce. Are you in favor or against legalizing divorce in the Philippines?
I have been asked this when I was 18, and I still stand by what I think from before versus now, which is as much as we want to stay committed to the person that we marry, we can't always decide whether or not they want to stay together. I know that married people stay together and try to work it out, but at the same time, we need to respect if they are no longer in love or if they choose better things that's better for their families and their children.
How has the pandemic challenged you?
It's challenged me in multiple ways. I mean, from having to go to school full time and working full time while trying to support my family, having to focus on school and from home, it teaches us responsibility and accountability because we need to be more focused. And aside from that, I've had to deal from being away from my family and not being able to see them. And it's been very hard, but social media has been such an advantage for me because I can communicate with my family all over the world.
Thank you very much, Katrina.